Billy the Kid returns on MGM Plus on June 2nd, and this will be for season 2. What's up, everybody? I'm the movie guru, and this episode I'm talking about the MGM Plus show Billy the Kid. Now, it is on MGM Plus, and season 2 is on the way. In season 2, Billy the Kid gets caught in the middle of the Lincoln County War, a murderous conflict driven by money, greed, and corruption. As after enjoying a monopoly, Murphy's store is no longer the only player in town when Englishman John Tunstall moves to Lincoln and sets off a commercial rivalry. Law and order is no match for cowboy gangs and a secret society. While chases and shootouts abound, there are innumerable ambushes and killings. No one is safe. After a pivotal assassination, things get very ugly, leaving Billy the Kid with an uncertain fate. Will he make it out of Lincoln County War alive? Tune in to see. Now, creator, writer, and director Michael Hirst returns for the second season alongside executive producers Donald DeLine, Dale Frank, and Justin Valet. Now, the series, of course, MGM Plus and Amazon, and premieres June 2nd. Now, the episodes this season are titled Episode 1, The Road to Hell, Episode 2, Sickness, Episode 3, The Agony, Episode 4, Day of the Dead, and Episode 5, The Debt, and there is one more, Episode 6. Now, stay tuned for after this video in celebration as a special treat. We have a sneak peek at clip episode 205 here. Now, it looks like they're stacking the deck for Westerns in the month of June. They're having a 2-day back-to-back, pretty much marathon of Westerns on MGM Plus. So on June 1st, they're having a marathon, and then on June 2nd, they're going to have season 2 of Billy the Kid premiere. Now, on June 1st, the first movie will be at noon, and it will be Once Upon a Time in the West, followed by High Noon. Then the original 1960 version of The Magnificent Seven, Dances with Wolves, then Surrounded, and then American Outlaws. Okay, so as promised, we have a sneak peek of Billy the Kid, episode 205, the penultimate episode of the series. So check out this clip, thanks to MGM Plus.
Buckshot, hold your fire! I'm coming out! You can take me alive! Get it! Go, go, go! Putting my rifle down! It's just you and me! No, leave it. You looking for me? You looking for me, huh? Here I am.
So that was the behind the scenes clip. A lot of action, a lot of gunfights, of course, what we expect from Billy the Kid. And so I want to keep it going with a couple more clips. So this is a behind the scenes breakdown where you hear about some of the motivations behind season 2, as well as you hear from the executive producers. All right, check it out.
There's someone I don't understand, someone who really interests me. I hear his name everywhere, but I have no idea who he is, what he wants. I'm talking about the man they call Billy the Kid.
In this season, we get to see Billy really step into the shoes that historically we all know Billy the Kid as.
Season 2 is the start of the Lincoln County War. It basically became anarchy in the town of Lincoln, and there was just open warfare on the streets between these two factions. You have John Tunstall and you have Murphy.
Lincoln County is where Billy became probably the most famous outlaw in America. Billy the Kid Season 2 is a rock and roll Western. It's intense, it's thrilling, and a lot of fun.
There's a lot of power players, there's a lot of politicians, a lot of bureaucracy in the story.
Billy the Kid is disrupting the status quo of this empire that Murphy's built. And Billy the Kid isn't going away.
You're going to keep an eye on your friend, because he's a danger to all of us.
The Jess and Billy relationship, I think, is fascinating. They're like two sides of a coin.
Billy loves him, but he also fears him, and he fears what Jesse brings out in him.
Very quickly, Billy starts to get famous, recognition, and in some ways it's the recognition that Jesse feels like he should have got already. Now he's got a single purpose in this whole season, and that is just go and get Billy.
But Billy met his match in Dulcinea.
They are very different, but they share a lot of experiences. That's something that definitely brings them together. They kind of speak the same language, like their heart and their souls speak the same language.
I'm glad you wanted to ride out with me.
It's a very exciting, big action season.
The stakes are higher. It's the further evolution of Billy.
I would like the audience to love Billy as much as I love him. I have tried to shine a different spotlight on Billy and his career.
There's no such thing as good guys and bad guys. It's not black and white. We have a war to win.
All right, so that was behind the scenes and really great look into the show and some of the motivations behind it. So last year, I was lucky enough to interview the same executive producers we saw in that behind the scenes clip and got a chance to ask them some personal questions about the show, inspirations, and also give them some theoretical questions about who would win in a gunfight. So look, check out clips of this episode here. If you want a full episode, it is on my page. Just click the Movie Guru link. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the next video. Peace. Hello, everyone. I'm the Movie Guru, and I have a very special interview today with the executive producer, Michael Hurst and Donald DeLine, about their series, Billy the Kid Season 2, that premieres on October 15th. Please help me welcome them to the show. How are you both?
Very well, Evan.
How are
nice
you
to
today?
meet you.
I'm doing very well myself and really excited because, Western films are one of my favorite genres, and a lot of TV shows, tried to hint at them, but they're not as direct as Billy the Kid. And that's something that I think all Western fans can agree on. So I'm very happy to see this show.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, we wanted to bring you even more of a Western in season 2 than in the traditional sense of the word.
Yeah.
I believe it. Now, for new people to the show that haven't heard of it, Billy the Kid is a Western American drama that premiered on April 24th, 2022. Now, the series is based on the famous American outlaw Billy the Kid, also known as William H. Bonney. Now, Billy the Kid Season 2 is an action-packed romantic adventure inspired by the life of America's most famous outlaw. And so that goes into my first question. What?
Evan, you've said it all now.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. Well done. Thank you.
When it comes to Billy the Kid and Westerns, what are your top classic Western movies that really inspired you guys to making this series?
Well, there were lots that I've watched in the 60s. The classic Westerns with they all, meld together in my imagination, just like some of the scenes of those rock formations that you saw in the Western, and then also, but John Wayne was in most of them, but I just loved the genre, It was, I think, yeah, I did. It's fantastic, and it comes and goes, which is wonderful. Sometimes no one makes a Western. Everyone says, "Oh, no one's going to make a Western anymore," and then up comes a really good Western with a twist to it or whatever it is.
Exactly.
For me, just thinking about those influences and why I love the genre, I have got kind of like 3 points in my life. As a kid, my father showed me the movie Shane, which was such an incredible Western and really just resonated with me on so many levels. And of course, like a classic like High Noon or Red River. And then later, something like Butch and Sundance came along, which was a more of a contemporary Western, which I loved, equally. And then one of my all-time favorite movies is Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Right? And that kind of took the genre and took it to a whole new level psychologically and as a character portrait. And I think that Michael, in his vision of Billy the Kid, is in that vein, in a sense, where you've really gone inside this character, this very conflicted, complicated character. And that's what I think he's captured so brilliantly with Billy the Kid.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that. That was one of the things that I think separated Western movies was that, what you just said, like getting into the character and showing either their desperation, their anger, or just the circumstances around them. Some of my top 3 Westerns were Outlaw Josie Wales. I mean, I have a copy. I watch it all the time. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Tombstone. And one film that I like that is kind of controversial, Open Range and The Postman. There was a stint that Kevin Costner was doing his Western thing, and I liked him though.
He's good.
I think so. And so here's a different type of question I have for you guys, right? This is sort of like a verse, because we know in Westerns, there's always a duel at high noon, right? And so who would win in a face-off at high noon? Clint Eastwood versus John Wayne.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Clint Eastwood versus Wayne.
I think they'd end up shooting each other.
Good answer, Michael. Good answer.
Clint Eastwood would probably get about 3 bullets into John Wayne. And John Wayne would still be standing there saying, I'm not hurt. It doesn't hurt me. Shoot him, then they'd both...
He just brush it off.
You don't get much tougher than either of those guys. Yeah,
you're right. And here's another one. Now, this might be a biased question, right? Billy the Kid or Jesse James?
Billy the Kid.
Yeah, Billy the Kid. I've loved Billy the Kid since I was a kid, and that's a long time ago.
Now, looking into just the character again, Billy the Kid, we've seen him in other versions, right? I mean, Young Guns. There was a movie recently called, I believe it was called Old Bill. Sort of explored the character, and they said actually the character Billy the Kid was one of the most, basically movies made with that character. So all those different versions, what makes this Billy the Kid different from those other ones?
I think the approach that I've taken to it. Billy is often. He's famous because he was an outlaw and a killer, and he's often played as if he was a pathological killer, and I was interested in who he really was, and who he really was an extremely sensitive young man, the son of immigrants. Who went into New York and then were forced to go west by government promises that didn't pay off. So they were forced to go to one of the wildest, most dangerous places in America at the time. Billy was a very, very sensitive kid, brought up by a mother who told him stories and was a very faithful Catholic. So he had a moral basis to his character. His father kind of just gave up, couldn't handle America, left him, and he watched his mother kill herself by working too hard. So his early life was tough, really tough. And I think a lot of young people today around the world can identify with him as an immigrant, perhaps as someone who is abandoned by his father. Lots of stuff like that, is resonant today. So I wanted people to have a human picture of Billy, a human response to him, not to think, oh, here's this great gunslinger, this great fighter, this gunman, this killer, no. Yes, of course, he killed people and he was involved in gunfights, but that's not really the story. You know, the story is, why was he there? What was driving him? You know, was he a good man?